Season 1, Episode 1, The Recurring Dream.
The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. You are a shepherd.
Not a banker, not a king, not a warrior.
A shepherd?
And every morning, before the sun has fully decided to rise, you wake up in the fields of Andalusia in the south of Spain, surrounded by your flock, 80 sheep, and you think to yourself,
This is enough.
the grass is green. The sheep are fed. The road ahead is familiar. You know every stone, every curve, every village between here and the next market. You have memorized this life the way most people memorize safety. And safety, for a long time, felt like wisdom. But there is a problem. There is always a problem when you are meant for more than you are living. The problem
Is a dream.
not just any dream. The dream. The one that keeps returning to you like a letter you keep refusing to open. Night after night, the same vision finds you. A child, playing in your field, grabbing your hands, pulling you towards something. And then, the Egyptian pyramids. Vast, ancient, impossible. And beneath them, a treasure. Every time you reach out to touch it, you wake up. Your heart is pounding, your hands are empty, the sheep are still sleeping. You lie there in the dark and you ask yourself the question that has haunted human beings since the beginning of time. Was that real? Or was that just a dream? Most people answer that question quickly. They say, just a dream. They pull the blanket up. They go back to sleep. They wake up, do what they always do, and the dream fades like fog in the morning sun until they forget it ever came. But you are not most people. You can't shake it. You've had this dream twice now, twice in the same field, twice with the same child, twice with the same pyramids, and something deep in your chest, something older than logic, older than fear, is telling you that this dream is not random noise. This dream is a message. You decide to do something most people never do. You decide to take it seriously. There is an old woman in the next town. A gypsy, they say, a reader of dreams. People laugh at her. Educated men dismiss her. But you are a shepherd, and shepherds have always known that the world speaks in languages that schools don't teach. So you go to her. She listens to your dream. She closes her eyes. She is quiet for a long time, the kind of quiet that makes you want to fill it with words, but you don't. You wait. And then she opens her eyes and says something that changes everything. You must go to Egypt. The treasure at the pyramids is real, and it is waiting for you. You stare at her. You almost laugh. Egypt? You are a shepherd in Spain. You have 80 sheep, a jacket with a book in it, and exactly enough money to eat for the next few weeks. Egypt is not a plan. Egypt is a fantasy. But she asks for no money. She says, I only want 1/10 of the treasure when you find it. And something about that, the certainty in her voice, the complete absence of doubt, plants a seed in you that you cannot uproot. You walk out into the street and the world looks the same. The same cobblestones. The same market noise. The same ordinary Tuesday. But you are different. Because someone has just told you, plainly, without drama, that your dream is real. And even if you don't fully believe her, the possibility alone is enough to make the ground shift beneath your feet. You sit down in the plaza, trying to collect your thoughts. And that is when you see him. An old man sits beside you. He is dressed strangely, like someone from another century or another world. His clothing is simple, but there is something about his presence that makes the air feel different, heavier, more awake. He picks up the book in your hands. He asks what you're reading. You tell him. He says he knows the book. He knows it well. He begins talking about it as if he wrote it himself, pulling out themes, ideas, secrets hidden between the lines. You are stunned. This old man, sitting in a plaza in the middle of an ordinary town, speaks about your book the way kings speak about kingdoms. You ask him, "Who are you?" He says, I am Melchizedek, the king of Salem. You almost laugh again. Kings don't sit in dusty plazas. Kings don't talk to shepherds. But kings also don't look at you the way this man is looking at you, as if he can see something in you that you haven't seen in yourself yet. He tells you something that will follow you for the rest of your life. He says, when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. Read that again. Feel it. Not some of the universe, not part of the universe. All of it. Every person, every coincidence, every open door and every closed one. Every dream that keeps returning, every stranger who sits beside you in a plaza. Every moment that felt random, that felt like luck or accident or chaos. All of it has been conspiring. For you, toward you, because of you. But then he asks you the harder question. He says most people never pursue their personal legend, the thing they were born to do, the life they were born to live, because of one thing. Not lack of money, not lack of talent, not luck. Fear. Specifically, fear that it won't work. Fear that you will leave everything you know, walk toward the unknown, and arrive at nothing. That you will be the fool who believed a dream. That you will lose the sheep, lose the safety, lose the familiar road, and find only emptiness at the other end. He says this fear has a name. It is called the world's greatest lie. And the lie is this, that at a certain point in our lives, we lose control of what's happening to us, and our lives become controlled by fate. You have believed this lie. Most people you know believe this lie. They call it being realistic. They call it growing up. They call it accepting life as it is. But the old king is telling you something different. He is telling you that your life is not something that happens to you. It is something you choose. He gives you 2 stones, Urim and Thummim, one black, one white. He says, if you can never read the omens, use these. White means yes, black means no. But he warns you, try to make your own decisions. These are only for when you truly cannot. Because the goal, the real goal, is not to need stones. The goal is to learn to read the world yourself, to listen to the language that everything around you is already speaking. The wind, the animals, the strangers, the timing, the dreams. Everything is communicating with you. Everything has always been communicating with you. You just haven't been listening. You go back to your flock. You look at the sheep. 80 of them. They trust you completely. They follow you without question. They eat where you tell them to eat. They sleep when you lead them to rest. They have no dreams of Egypt. They have no personal legend. They have no restlessness. And for the first time, you see them differently. You see that you have been living like them. Safe, comfortable, fed, following the same road, sleeping in the same fields, waking up to the same sky. And it hits you, quietly, devastatingly, that the distance between a shepherd and his sheep is smaller than you ever realized. Both are following a path someone else laid out. Both have forgotten or never learned that they could choose a different one. The decision comes slowly and then all at once. You are going to sell the sheep. You're going to take the money. You're going to cross the sea to Africa. You're going to make your way to Egypt. You're going to find the treasure at the base of the pyramids. Not because you are certain it will work. Not because the logic adds up. Not because anyone around you would call this sensible. You are going to go because something inside you, something that has no name, that lives below thought, below fear, below reason, is pulling you forward. And you have finally decided that this pull is more trustworthy than your doubt. You sell the sheep. You feel it immediately. The loss, the exposure, the terrifying lightness of having let go of everything you knew. You are no longer a shepherd. You are not yet anything else. You are standing in the gap between who you were and who you are becoming. And that gap is one of the most uncomfortable places a human being can stand. Most people retreat from this gap. They sell one sheep and buy it back. They make one move and undo it. They take one step and then take it back, disguised as wisdom, disguised as caution. But you don't go back. You take the money. You cross the Strait of Gibraltar. You step on to African soil for the first time in your life. The smells are different. The sounds are different. The faces are different. Everything is different, and you have no idea what you're doing. And that, right there, is where the real journey begins. Not when you had the dream. Not when the gypsy confirmed it. Not when the old king gave you the stones. The journey begins the moment you let go. The moment you release the familiar and step into the unknown with nothing but a burning sense that you are moving in the right direction. Even when you cannot prove it. Even when no one around you agrees. Even when every logical voice in your head is screaming, "Go back." This is what Paulo Coelho understood when he wrote this book in 11 days. He didn't plan it carefully. He didn't outline it in a spreadsheet. He didn't wait until conditions were perfect. He said the story already existed. It was alive inside him, and he just had to be quiet enough to hear it and brave enough to write it down. That is the first lesson of The Alchemist. Not a strategy, not a tactic, not a 5-step framework. A single, ancient, radical truth. You already know what you're supposed to do. You have always known. The dream has been trying to tell you. The restlessness has been trying to tell you. The part of you that reads books like this one, that searches for something more, that refuses to be fully satisfied by the comfortable and the ordinary. That part of you has been trying to tell you for years. The only question that has ever mattered is whether you are brave enough to listen. Welcome to Mastermind Society, where 1% of the world dares to live the life they were born to live. I'll see you in episode 2.